Now, I took like three things, basic things from what you just talked about. The first one is this issue of degrading jokes, that these jokes are not, they're not helping. On on social media, since this incident took place, there have been so much on social media. Recently I heard someone talking about it. I think someone made a post, so someone was replying. I was like, Nigerian comedians, they've been doing this thing for a long time and it's causing problems for us. And the person's example was Worry. When this comedy thing started, they started by degrading Worry. Oh, Worry, if you enter Worry, and they will steal your wristwatch, they will do this. And that thing spoils the name of Worry. And that is the truth. I remember several occasions coming in contact with youth coppers who were brought to Worry to serve. You see them, coming with fear because of the things they've been hearing. Then by the time you ask them later, ask them maybe like 5-6 months after, while they've been here, you will see them saying, it is not what they heard. In short, they've been here, they've not been attacked, In short, they're enjoying the place. And this is the power of jokes that we don't, or comedy that we don't understand. We are creating a mindset with those things. So when you keep attacking women, you are telling the world that there are no good women. You are telling the world that we only have gold-digging women. Women, our bodies are the only important things. Sex is the only important thing that we are useful for. So that is very important. Then you also talked about this idea of these same guys make these jokes about women, yet will not leave women alone. The so-called gold-digging women, they won't leave them alone. I've said something like that in some of my videos. You see men complaining about how women eat their money, how many women demand for so much, but you will not leave that woman that is demanding for so much. There are women who will not demand for that. You will not leave them. It is that shallow woman that you are rather go and meet. Then you start making noise about them, whereas there are other more intelligent and broad-minded women out there that you're not willing to go to. So that is number two. Then the last one, I so caught that thing up because it's a plain truth. This is bullying. Simple bullying. It just reminds me of when we're in primary, secondary school, when people make jokes. I went to a unity school. You went to a unity school too. We are both from unity schools here in Nigeria. And we have press club, or we have, because they still have it, I believe. You see that the press club, what they do most times is they say a lot of things about people, put a lot of females especially on the board and say things about them, insult them, abuse them in various ways, their body parts and all that. It is such things that we have developed and called comedy now in Nigeria, and it's such a shame. I wish we will change the narrative. Yes, so quickly, we don't have time anymore, but quickly.
I'm sorry, just before you move on, one thing we don't understand is that if we don't change that narrative, our children, the future generation that we are raising, they see the same thing. They will start doing the same thing. They will start calling their own girls the same name that we also have refused to change. And I think one thing we should learn is even the Bible says that we are ensnared by the words of our mouth. When we keep saying something at someone, we keep calling our women gold diggers, we keep calling them prostitutes, we keep calling them names that they shouldn't be called. Our women, the girls that we are giving birth to, the generation that we're giving birth to, and the generations to come would also live by that name. They will also do the same thing. They will become gold diggers. Then they will become this. Then your sons or their sons or whoever's sons also will call your daughters the same name you have refused to change. So I just think it's just high time we stop all this personal jokes against our women. We stop all this thing. We look for better contents. Don't keep calling the woman you're still going to marry, the woman you're going to claim you're going to make love to, the woman, somebody else's wife or somebody else's girlfriend or whatever it is. And those are the names you have decided to tag your women. And at the end of the day, you make it public. You say publicly on your stage and on your platform, and people are laughing. And the people laughing forget to remember that they're talking probably about your daughter or your sister or your friend. So and kids right now don't want to go to school because they are being laughed at. You see kids when they cut their hair, they would scream, no, if I cut my hair, mom, they're gonna laugh at me. Even you find out that even boys, those days when I was growing up, we would cut our hair, and you go to school with pride by cutting your hair. Now you see kids would scream that, oh, if I cut my hair, I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna commit suicide, or I'm gonna go, or they'll just, oh, my friends will laugh at me. Whereas these are things that we should embody and encourage and say, no, it is wrong. Bodily abuse is wrong. It's bullying. So that's just the point I want to bring out, that I don't think I would want my child to go to school and my child feels uncomfortable in their own skin, whether their hair is low or cut or made or whatever. We should promote body pride. And that's one of the things as Africans that we should start. It shouldn't be our men or our comedians who have this platform to start bringing our women down. So I think that's the point I've always wanted to make, and I hope not everybody will agree with me. Everybody to each their own opinions, but I just say to myself, and I posted some stuff on Facebook, and some people were like, "Oh, Will Smith did," and I asked a question. I said, if it were you that somebody has made a joke or a remark on your personal zone or your body, not once, not twice, please honestly answer that you will take it as a joke by the second time. The first time, we can all let it go. But when it becomes the second time, tell me if you would honestly take that as a joke. Well,
I'm sure the person did not reply.
My answer. So that's it for me.
Okay, I actually saw that your post and I really liked it. I was like, yes, this is it. It starts from somewhere. We start promoting these things. So by the time it escalates, we do not realize it. Yes. Then, of course, I've seen so many posts on this incident, so many posts. Will has been abused right, left, and center. Some said Jada has messed up his head. Some said that he obviously beats his wife, beats her at home, that kind of thing. It's funny, but in just a few words, because we don't have it. What do you make of such?
Oh, one of the things I would just say is, would I want a man to stand up for me in the time of I'm down publicly? Yes. Will I condone him hitting another man? No. But I believe everybody, whether man or woman, would want somebody to stand up for them. And it's just what is called love. One thing I could see in that place, it could be foolish, but it was foolish for the woman he loves. How many of us have those partners in our lives, whether husbands, whether wives or children or cousins, that can stand up for us in the time when we are facing a public disgrace?
Yeah.
It was just love. And if that love was foolish, please, why do fools fall in love? That's all I was saying. He was just a man who did something very foolish in front of the whole world for the woman he loves. And I don't care whatever anybody says. It's their private life. Oh, she controls him, he controls her. It's their private life. But I'm sure in our own private lives, would we want somebody to stand up for us? Now, how the person is going to stand up for us could be different. The person could have, like I said, he could have handled it differently. Or would we want someone to stand up for us? For me, yes, I would want someone to stand up for me. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Fumi. A Facebook friend of mine said something about how, because of this incident, she was telling us a story of how there was a time she and her husband were on a trip, and the man was seriously sick. He had been sick for a while. Like, all through the journey, he was vomiting. They would stop and he would vomit and all that. He was sick, but he was one driving. And they got to a checkpoint, and the police officer asked them to go and open this. The police officer, a soldier, asked him to go and open the boot. And she knew the man was weak. So she came down to open the boot. And the man said, lazy man, you're not ashamed. Now your wife, they go open boot for you. She said the wahala she created in that checkpoint with that police officer, that it took people were holding them, that she wished she had the strength of a man. Those were her words. She said her father, while he was alive, will fight anybody that will do anything to his mother. That the father was a gentleman and everything, but you don't talk to his wife and his children. So yes, a man will defend his own. That is my belief. Yes. Okay, so moving on. You've already said a lot on this, but still, what do you have to say to other men about allowing their women to be the brunt of cruel jokes without defending them?
All I would just say is, if you love your woman to that point, if you love your man to that point, because it's vice versa. I don't believe one-sided love way. I believe it's two ways. Man loves woman, woman loves man. If you love your woman to that point, you will do anything for them. Like me, I love my children. I talk about my children. I'm a single person, so I can do anything. You go there, cross my kids, man, you are crossing me. So that I don't care what I would have done, what I've done, then start thinking, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done it that way. But please just don't cross. So the thing is, yes, in as much as we don't want to condone violence, but at the same time, you can't keep watching someone also poking. There's a thin line between laughter and the other side, violence. You can't keep poking people. Even within amongst my kids, when either of the sibling is poking the younger one, I tell them stop it, because you never know when the other person will react. That's the way I say. So for people who maybe they think they are women to stand up for them, I think if you love your woman, first of all, never get yourself into that position where you will be doing something that you're not supposed to do. But when you find yourself in that situation, defend yourself and defend your family the best way you can. That's just it. How you want to do it, now that's up to you. I'm not the one who's going to advise anybody on how they want to do it, but I think there are ways we can, be diplomatic and handle situations, but there are some situations that you just have to stand up. That's it.
Okay, Fumi, this is going to be your last words, but I want you to also address women. What do you think we should do concerning these kind of jokes? What should be our reaction? Should we keep allowing? Is it only the men that would have to defend the women? What do we women, or what are we women supposed to do about such? Okay, so use that to round off in like 2-3 minutes, please.
That's a very, very good question. And in fact, I'm happy you asked me that question. I think it's time also for women to start standing up for women. Enough is enough of all these personal jokes. Enough is enough of calling our wives, our daughters, our children, our sisters, our cousins, our friends, gold diggers. Enough is enough calling them, oh, they have big backyard or big front yard or whatever it is that you are calling them, that you're using sexual graphical details to describe the women who at the end of the day are the ones who take care of the homes, who work hard for the children, who make sure that your children are safe, your children are okay, your family is okay. I think it's time for we women as well to start standing up for women. Whenever we go for comedy shows and somebody's becoming is saying abusive personal jokes directed at women, we should stand up and say no. and say, no, enough is enough. There are so many contents that comedians can use. You don't have to. I know a particular comedian, and I'm not going to mention his name, a Nigerian comedian. All he talks about is just women's vagina, women's this, women's that, women's private part, women. It is so appalling. And I'm like, I wish somebody could just stand up and tell this person, can you please stop? You don't need to be so graphical about a woman's body. This is our bodies. So if other women can also stand up, well, we don't have to go hit, but we can say no. We can walk out of that what's it called, show. Yeah, we can walk out of that show. We can grab the mic and say, sorry, we will not listen to any jokes that is directed at our women, at our daughters, at our girls. And I think that's a better way to approach it. That's it.
Okay, so thank you so very much, Fumi. It's been good having you on the show, my first guest.
Okay. Fairness, I've always watched your show and I've been like, oh, because I've been so busy, I'm like, oh, someday I should do something with Nancy. And I think maybe this is just the beginning of
many.
Even though, and good thing now is that there is no distance now. We have things like Zoom, Teams, so there is no distance. So there's no way we can't have such shows. And I would really love it if we, to be part of your show another time.
We'll do more by the grace of God. I have enjoyed myself really, and I believe all of us out there, viewers, you all enjoyed it. I believe so. Thank you so very much, Fumi. As usual, there's no need talking so much. She has said so much and a lot. All we need to do is listen as usual. So please, as usual, I want your comments, I want your shares, I want your likes, okay? Let's know what you think, okay? We are grateful. Thank you for watching. Thank you once again, Fumi, for coming. And as usual, everyone, do have a lovely day.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.